don't add, okay, so first of all, the kind of bacon, when I said you don't put, butter in your bacon, it's because I use this kind of bacon. This kind of bacon is what I use. It's strips of bacon. So, let me show you. You don't need butter in it because look at all the fat that's already there. It's already so much fat in there. See all that fat? So you don't need any butter in there because it cooks in its own fat. And what I do is, listen, I wouldn't know all this stuff if I didn't grow up in America, because America is like the land of you know how America is, like really, really, really like on that bacon and soda and all that. So listen, what I do is I take that strip of bacon, I cut it in two, and I just have like strips of bacon like sizzling on here, right? And after the bacon's cooked on both sides, it's crispy, I take it off and there's still grease on the pan, and then you can cook something else in it with that grease, and you can add butter to it. Like if it's grits, if it's grits or rice or something, you can cook that in the bacon grease, and you'll have a little grease for your grits or rice, right? And you add water to it and everything, but that's just like your oil, right? Because you don't need any butter for you don't want any butter with bacon, because it's already so heavy. That's gonna like be too heavy. Like some people save their lard, which is the bacon grease. Like this is bacon grease that I have saved. And I don't cook with it, but I sometimes I give I put some in my dog's dog food. But some people cook with their bacon grease, and I think it's fine to use if you want to use it like that. I don't know about bacteria or anything like that building up on it, but like things you can't see maybe, like I guess that's why they tell you not to do it. And because it's really fattening, they tell you not to do it. But I know like it's kind of like a well-known thing that people do, but I use it when I want to spoil my dog. I'll like mix some of that in his food, because of course a dog's gonna love anything like that. So yeah, I just wanted to jump on here to say, no, you don't cook your not the kind of bacon I just showed you. You don't cook that with butter, because that would be like really greasy. And but I cook my eggs with butter. I put some butter down before I make my eggs, and that suits me pretty well. But I don't know if that's how you're supposed to do it. I don't add any milk to my eggs like some people do to make them fluffy. I don't do that. So I don't think my eggs are as good as Rodney's eggs, for example. I'm not sure exactly how he makes them. So to each his own. I think like some of you watching this right now might be in nations that aren't America. And I know from living in Germany that not everyone has bacon, like the strips of bacon that we have. Not everyone has like they have canned soda, but maybe not as much like soda as we have, or coffee. They don't have like as much coffee as we have, like stuff like that. I know when I lived in Germany, they had Schinken, which is a type of bacon, but it wasn't like the same type of bacon that we have. So it's like, just because I know how to cook it from being here so long doesn't make me a better cook than you. It just makes me, like, you're probably way better at like cooking vegetables and stuff than I am, or beans and rice. Like I wish I knew how to cook beans and rice better, but I have a pressure cooker. Now, of course, I have all the instruments and everything. I've been very spoiled, but yeah, I need to talk to Rodney about reeling it back to a beans and rice diet, and like using the pressure cooker for like potatoes, beans and rice, like like a Mexican, like a chula. Is that a bad word, chula? I'm sorry if it's a bad word. I just thought it was cute. Anyways, but I know Mexicans get so offended by everything I say. No, it's like non-Mexicans who aren't Mexicans who get offended by me calling them Mexican. But I don't know if chula is a bad word. I think it's okay. It's probably like the word bitch. Like it depends on who's saying it. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Or hoe, I don't know though. But I am just talking about how I feel like German is kind of French Mexican, but it's German. But maybe in like the RNA in the past life, we were all French Mexican. Because isn't that like glamorous to be French Mexican? I think so. I think it's super la dauphine. It's so la dauphine to be French Mexican. Okay. Well, that's all I have. So I'm hopped off instant coffee. Yeah. What I do is I take, okay, so here's a crazy thing. You're not allowed to gather rainwater to drink in the United States. You're not allowed to collect rainwater. And I think it's super crazy because we have these Brita water filters that are perfect for rainwater. You just collect your rainwater outside and you pour it through this thing and it filters out all the debris, and you just lift this up and wash it out. And it is like so perfect for drinking rainwater, right? So I think this is like a gift from the gods. These Brita water filters for people who are serious about platelet absorption. Hello, people. How are we supposed to get our platelets? Not from salt water. You can't always trust that pink salt is iodinized. No, honey, you have to get it from your rainwater. Collect your rainwater, baby. Collect it. It is the most homeopathic thing you can take. Well, anyways, I ran out of rainwater. I ran out of it, but I took some water from the hose and I put it in the rainwater catcher that I put outside, and like now like pollen and all that stuff's in it, and I just figure like the moon needs to be on it and the sun needs to shine on it, and that'll be really good for it. Like it'll do something special to it, like if it's not rainwater, it's actually water from the hose, and I think water from the hose is rainwater because the water from the hose has to go on the plants, and the plants need rainwater. So I think it is rainwater if it's from the hose, but not from the tap. So I don't know if it's legal to drink hose water, but anyways, I do. I'm not going to show you me doing it, but I do. And I think that's what I thought was like the growth hormone in me. It was actually the platelet absorption in me. And so anyways, like and there was something else, like rainwater, and something else was like really, really jibbing me out, like why we're not allowed to do it. But it's because they want to keep us sick and weak, and because they want us to be carburetors for their industry, and they think keeping us sick and weak is the best way, because they want to take the pharma from us, which is usually given to us in order for us to become carburetors. They want to profit off of the pharma as well, so they keep us sick and weak. So that's the American practice. And anyways, so I'm like hopped up off caffeine, and so I just use instant coffee and the best sugar there is, which is like the best sugar, the instant coffee, and water, and a dash of milk. And that is like, you have to be like me. And I was a barista, and I used to drink black coffee like it was water in order to lose weight. So once you've like gone through that, like drinking coffee like water, like black coffee like water, like you are a coffee girl. And that's just me. I'm a coffee girl. Like you might buy instant coffee and be like, this is mid, I prefer tea. Well, yeah, I guess I prefer the taste of tea, but there's just something about coffee that just makes me feel better. And so I'm a coffee girl, I have coffee breath, and I'm a coffee girl, and my teeth are yellow, and I can't wear light yellow, and It's gross, but I'm a coffee girl. So either you are or you aren't. Either you get it or you don't. And it's kind of funny because I always say I'm Mexican, and that's kind of like a stereotype too. But I'm not. Don't get offended. I know people get really easily offended by me because I'm white, you know, or like white passing at least. Because like, listen, like I have a lot of growth hormone working on me to make me look this white. Like my vaccine schedule was like make her white, make her white, make her white, make her white. But even if I was just white naturally, like I mean, that's like when what you are naturally is a beautiful thing, but I'm like not naturally that white, and so they like make me try and look whiter with the vaccine schedule, and so it's like it's kind of they make it look it looks ugly, and people identify like whiteness like with an ugliness and with like a type of evil through me, and that's not what it is. Like I'm sure that the white race did this in order to have more whites on their side or something, but it's just I don't know. Like I absorbed a twin. I'm Mao. I have a lot of factors working against me to make me look whiter than I am, but if it was just the twin absorption and the Mao, I would still be more beautiful than they made me through the vaccine schedule with more. Well, they tried to make me look like a Neanderthal through the vaccine schedule. Like we don't. There are no true Neanderthals. That's a race created by vaccine schedulists to create an Untermensch, and an Untermensch is like a lower level of being, like that we all regard as lesser than, in order for them to be carbureted. So there's like a lot of things working against me to try and get me carbureted, including like an illness that used to be called lysenteria, but now they changed the definition of lysenteria online to like a leprosy, right? Which isn't the same thing as lysenteria. Lysenteria is like a mild lingering illness that has 2 levels, and the second dose is like AIDS and you'll die from it, and like that happens to cats around here sometimes and dogs. But if you get it once, like you're immune to it for I don't know, several lifetimes maybe, or maybe forever. So I'm pretty immune to that second dose by now, I think. But because I believe that in the realm of eternal life, I believe that I died of AIDS in my past life. So anyways, like, I mean, get on my level or don't. You can just regard me as a crazy crackhead. I don't do crack, but I understand that, like, you are entitled to believe what you want to believe, and that you're fed many beliefs about people like me on purpose in order to incarcerate me. And by incarcerate, I mean incarburate me, make me into a carburetor. And that's like your prerogative, you know, because even my dad doesn't believe me, and my dad used to really think I was smart and everything, and now he doesn't because like I believe that the moon is like a front for Mars, right? Like that's why the sky looks pink sometimes, because the moon is hiding the red planet. And I believe that the flat earth theory is part of a trilogy where like there's a sun to another galaxy that's really the core of the earth, but also the part of the trilogy is also that the earth is round, and that hell is the core, right? Like it's all part of a trilogy. And in reference to eternity, we live in eternity. That's what the trilogy is. It means like all aspects can be true, you know. So that's the level I'm coming to you from. It's very spiritual, and I think it's like the Trinity is really the Trinity in the formal exception. Like it's the law of 3-4. So that's why the cross has 4 ends, you know, because it's the Trinity, but it's also the formal exception. So I don't know. It's eternity. So if you don't get my witchiness, that's fine. Just know that I am a hexa. My number is 6, like the hexagon, and that's like 2 trinities, 2 triangles, and it's not. It's an understanding of metaphysical logic that comes comes by, just comes by fate, I guess, or doom or destiny. So I was just on here to talk to you about rainwater and coffee and how to make bacon. And I think like we should only use meat to like flavor our foods, but like my boyfriend, they have my boyfriend thinking that vegetables are bad for us to eat. And I believe like we put so much fluoride in the vegetables even too, that maybe the vegetables are bad for us to eat now because of all the fluoride in there. I mean, by fluoride I mean formaldehyde. Fluoride is another name for formaldehyde. In our culture, it might mean something different in your culture, but like when they say fluoridated land, they mean land that's been salted by formaldehyde in order for trees not to grow. So it's just, we live in crazy times, and composting and drinking rainwater are two ways that we can fix the situation. If you were listening to me and you feel like there's a situation that needs to be fixed based off of what I was saying, even if you just think I'm crazy, then I advise you, if you want to change me, like how I am, then please start composting and start drinking rainwater. And that will be the cure. That's all that's needed. Compost and drink rainwater. If you think there's something wrong with me, if you think there's something right with me and you think there's something wrong with society, whoever you are, whatever you are, please compost and drink rainwater. Amen.